My little brother tunes me out whenever I talk about finances, but I think I found a way to get through to him, and that's by using Fortnite. You are 18 years old. You just started working. What are your financial goals for the future?
Hold up. My financial goals are GT3 RS and house on the beach. Or I'm homeless in a different country and I do nothing.
Okay, no in between.
What if you're in between with a job that you like?
If you love your job, you don't work a day in your life.
I'll live in a little shack. I only care about the GT3 RS. It's like 300.
Usually, I don't know. I feel like if you finance that, that's probably gonna cost like at least $6,000 a month.
Okay, let's just say
saving
Corvette C6,
Okay.
ZR1, 2013. It has to be a ZR1. So that's 6-speed manual, 638 horsepower to the rear wheels, and it's like 120,000.
Okay, that's still very expensive for a car, but
That's attainable.
it's attainable. Yeah, you can like afford it. Just because you can afford it doesn't mean you should buy it. But hey, you're a car guy. I'm not a car guy. I drive a Toyota. I like my hybrid. It's easy to zip around, good on gas. Like it's nice.
To anyone watching this video, this guy's in his underwear. He is not wearing pants.
Allegedly. The world may never know. There might be 3 people that watch this. One will be me. Another will be you. Another will be Warren Buffett. Oh, watch out. John Wick just whipped me up. What the?
I just pickaxed John Wick.
Just don't kick his dog.
Oh, well, he's dead now.
You're gonna emote and not reboot me? So how do you plan on investing your money in the future?
So you know this place called Morongo?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it.
I mean, you know, some people make a lot of money.
You know, have to want it bad enough.
There's a statistic. I think it's like 80% of gamblers.
No, I think it's 90% of gamblers.
They quit before they make it big. Yeah, if you quit, you know, that next big hit is right around the corner. I'm just kidding, by the way, don't do that.
If you think you're in the 1% that doesn't win big, you're wrong. You just gotta keep going.
Yeah.
You're almost there.
I hope nobody takes that seriously. Put it in an S&P 500 index fund and forget about it, and you're good to go. Except for right now.
Put it all into Dogecoin.
You could do that. That's one way to do it. Is that the wrong way to go? Yes. But
No.
Is it the fun way to do it? Maybe. Anyway, so the index fund, that's a good way to go. But right now I think stocks are overpriced. So what you want to do is either you can dollar cost average, which means you buy a little bit over time instead of putting it all in at once, or you can wait a little bit, because I look at the valuations like the Schiller PE ratio, which shows you like how expensive stocks are. It's high. I think we're gonna have a recession, although I've been thinking about that for the last couple of years and it still hasn't happened yet. It's probably gonna happen.
You know what that sounds to me like?
What?
You sound like a gambler who's about to win big.
Well, I do have a gigantic short position, which is I don't recommend. It's a bit stressful. What you can instead do if you think a recession is coming, just buy T-bills and wait a year or 2 years or 3 years. Just keep waiting. Look at Warren Buffett. It's not his first rodeo. He, through his company, Berkshire Hathaway, is just sitting on billions and billions of cash. 325 billion. What do you know about Warren Buffett, Zach?
He's old and lame.
He's old and the GOAT.
Not lame.
Would you like to have $100 billion?
And do nothing with it? No.
I agree that he could have had a little bit more fun. But then, on the other hand, I think he has a lot of fun doing what he's doing. He's playing Monopoly, but with real money.
Monopoly, you buy things. You buy properties, and you buy houses, and you buy cars and stuff.
But he doesn't have to work. He flies around in like private jets. But yeah, I would do things a little differently. I would be pretty cheap, but I would do probably some more stuff. Yeah, Warren Buffett, he's 90 something years old, but He's a happy 90-something-year-old.
So he's really just taking it all to the grave.
I think he's gonna donate like 99% of it. He's not gonna give much to his kids. What do you think about that? I wouldn't call it mean. From the kids' perspective, like you would think, it's like, what the heck, dude? Like, give me a little cheddar. But he explained it. He was like, he wanted to give his kids enough money so that they can do anything, but not so much money that they can do nothing. Yeah. So imagine you were born to billionaire parents, and your 16th birthday, you got a Ferrari, just a bunch of crazy stuff, right? Just whenever you wanted it, you didn't have to work for it. It's just bam, it's there. I don't think you'd be that happy. You'd get over it pretty quickly, and I don't think you'd appreciate it that much. You'd just be like, it's just a car. If I become a billionaire and if I have kids, I would not spoil them like that. I would give them opportunities, but I wouldn't just be like, here's a Ferrari. I would say, here's the cheapest car. You want a nice car, you gotta work for it. But here's a car that'll get you around, it's safe. But it's not gonna look cool. If you won the lottery, $1 billion, what's your first move? Put it all on black.
Yeah. So then I can win the lottery again.
Yeah.
Yup. I would probably... I don't know if I would go on vacation first or if I would buy a bunch of stuff.
Right move. You just put it in an index fund and you live off the interest forever. You're fine. Never have to work again. $1 billion is just a ridiculous amount of money. 10 million, you're set. 10 million, like, you're living a luxurious lifestyle. You're not working as long as you don't just blow it. Thank you, kind sir. You and I are very lucky to be in a strong union. You're gonna be making, let's say, 60 an hour. After taxes for the year, you can take home like 74,000. You said your expenses would be roughly $1,500 a month. You could save, let's say, $50,000 a year. You can stay at home until what age?
22, 23.
Let's say 23. I moved out at 24. It was great for me to stay there as long as I did. That's where you really stack it up and get ahead. So you're gonna start working full-time when you're 19. A good 4 years. Stay at home and just stack it up. Save and invest $50,000 a year. And let's assume you can get a 10% return per year compounded annually after taxes and inflation. That should leave you with about $230,000 at 23 years old. I would say not enough to retire. I'm gonna say you're gonna want probably at least $1 million to retire. There's something called the 4% rule. You want your expenses to be less than 4% of your retirement amount. So you could probably live on, whoa, the storm. You could probably live on under 40,000 a year, but you still want money to invest. Cost of living is going to continue rising. So you may want a little bit more than that. Let's say at least 1.2 million. So if you move out at 23 and you get your own place, that's going to cost you like $2,200 a month. You could then start saving like $25,000 a year, but you'd also have that your income from the $230,000 you saved. $48,000 you'd be able to invest from when you're 23. So you'd have about 1.25 million at 35. That should roughly be enough to retire. You're not going to be living a lavish lifestyle, but you're not going to have to work. I'm going to hit him with my bat. Did I knock you out of the car?
I don't even know what just happened.
What is your guess of what a recession is?
The stock market crashes.
Yep, how it manifests, the stock prices and real estate prices tend to go way down during recessions. If you're prepared, it can be a huge financial opportunity. That's when Dad started buying real estate. He started buying real estate in 2008, and he would tell everybody that would listen, buy real estate, buy real estate. And people didn't really want to because they thought prices would continue to go down. Do you know what it means to buy a stock? A lot of people think when you buy a stock, you watch the price wiggle up and down and you try to get rich. They don't really know what it means to buy it. But when you buy a stock, you literally own a portion of the company. Oh my god. What is going on right now? Bro's a professional. Where you... Oh! Victory Royale. When it comes to investing in the stock market, a great business isn't necessarily a great investment. And the difference is the price. So just because the business is super great, it's exciting, they're going to grow their earnings, doesn't mean it's a good investment. It would be such an easy game to just pick good companies, right? Like, oh, Google and Apple and Tesla and Microsoft, these are great companies, so I'm going to invest in them. But a lot of people have the same idea and they push up the price because they all buy it. I think there are better opportunities in companies that still are making solid profit but are a little bit more boring and overlooked. You have to compare the price of the company to the earnings of the company and the balance sheet. You have to do the calculations. They still have to have a solid future, but the good opportunities are usually not the best of the best companies, especially during recessions. That's where the opportunities are crazy. If investing is like throwing darts at a dartboard, during a recession, the dartboard becomes the wall.
If I was a trillionaire, could I buy all of the stock from a company and sell it for 1 cent and then destroy the company?
If you owned all the shares and you sold them for a penny, I don't think that would destroy the company. It would just, somebody else would own it. So
Wouldn't it be worth 1 cent?
Well, oh, that's a good question. Somebody else is gonna want to buy it for more than a cent, right? It depends on how much the company is earning. Let's say that company that you bought for trillions of dollars, it was making 10 billion a year, and other people are gonna want to buy it for a lot of money. So I don't think it would destroy the company. So the price per share of a stock, it doesn't tell you much. You can look at Warren Buffett's company, Berkshire Hathaway. It's trading for about $700,000 per share. But you have a company like Apple, the price per share is like a couple $100s. And you would think, okay, well, Apple is a much smaller company than Berkshire Hathaway, but that's not the case. Apple has so many more shares outstanding. They got billions and billions of shares. So it's actually a bigger company than Berkshire Hathaway. What are those? So I'll teach you stocks, you teach me Fortnite. If you want to get rich, you have to combine passive income with compound interest. When you start investing, would you rather invest in real estate or stocks?
Both.
That is a good answer. I think you should probably get your feet wet with buying like one rental property. I've owned several rental properties. There's always some kind of story and something's broken and it can be a headache. On the other hand, it is one of the greatest ways to build wealth, especially if you use a loan from the bank. You can increase your return on investment by quite a bit. Stocks, you can buy an S&P 500 index fund and diversify it across 500 companies. That is like the epitome of passive income. You just buy it and you don't pay attention. I think you should not get into credit card debt. You can use a credit card, just don't carry a balance because they will charge you like 25% interest rates.
I think a lot of people with credit card debt want to pay their credit card debt off.
Well, they might be looking to invest money. Maybe they have $10,000 in credit card debt. They also have some cash and they're like, I'm going to buy some crypto. I'm going to buy some stocks. I think you could get a far greater return on investment by just paying off the credit card debt.